women's basketball coach, Edsel Hamilton, and he'll be heading into his second year here at ETBU. Gotta.
Don't let Coach Curran fool you. See this face? Okay. I'm just not going to tell you what happened, but we had a little argument about something.
Coach Curran get the best of you?
We worked it out.
Well, at least you got a face for television and not radio. Mine's more for radio.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Or internet broadcast streams, whatever.
Or social media, Facebook Live, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I have to do my hair every now and then to make me look better. So, Coach, you've been practicing for 2 weeks. How's the preseason been going for you heading into your second season?
It's been pretty good. We've got a lot of new players, so that's been a little bit of a challenge of trying to get everybody caught up. But last year was basically like everybody being new just because nobody knew what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. So we've got a little bit of an advantage this year with having a small group of returners back that we're able to, preseason when they're playing open gym and stuff like that, we're able to kind of take them aside and do some captain's practice type stuff with them where they could kind of start putting in the offense a little bit. So we were definitely ahead the first day of practice of where we were last year for sure, as far as execution and things like that. So I'm probably being a little tougher on them as far as putting things in early because I like to run a lot of stuff. We have a lot of set plays and a lot of motion offenses and a lot of variations of each thing. And so I'm probably throwing a little more at them early than I did last year because I feel like they're a little bit more ahead and they can handle it. But at the same time, I still have to remind myself to be patient because we have so many freshmen who are just, this is their first time really doing something like this. There's probably a few of them that came from systems in high school where they were pretty structured and ran a lot of stuff. But for the most part, especially AAU and so in a lot of these high schools, it's basically give me the ball and get out of the way. You know what I mean? So, so that's been a little different for them just to kind of, realize I don't have to make a play every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I can let the offense make a play, and if I'm supposed to stay here on the wing, I need to stay here on the wing and wait for things to happen. And so that's been a little bit of a challenge, but so far it's been really good. The girls' attitudes have been really good. We have a really, really good group of girls. They're fun to be around, and I enjoy working with them every day.
So far, implementing your system from last year. Your players that are coming back, have they helped these newcomers kind of get used to the system and flow of things?
Yeah, we've got really 6 returners that have really been instrumental. We got 2 seniors, Caitlin Packen and Delia Hopkins, and then our junior group is Lauren Lee and Malaysia Chisholm. Sade Morel is back after missing last year, so she hasn't played for me yet, but she is a experienced college player, upperclassman. And then we've got our sophomore group of Janice Raspberry and Katina Hayes. They got to play a little bit of minutes last year. Deanna Dickerson was with us last year too, but she ended up having a red shirt, so she wasn't able to go through the full season of practice and stuff. But so we've got that small group, and they've been really helpful because they kind of know how I would say things as well because they've heard me and been listening to me yell at them for a year. So, when it comes to when we're starting to put in plays where they can kind of say, oh, you're supposed to go here and this is what you're supposed to do and this is what we're looking for. So that's been really a big help.
So you're bringing in a brand new class, your first real recruiting class here. How many players are you bringing in? You said you only have 6 or 7 that are returning. How many newcomers do you have?
We have a lot. We were very fortunate in recruiting. I had everybody tell me before I came here that you got to over-recruit because, without having an athletic scholarship, there's not really anything tying them down. They're not really signing on to anything, and they can bail at any time. So, last year, my first summer, we had 3 girls that were committed and supposed to come that bailed for different reasons a week before school. So I figured we'd probably have a little bit of that. But, we did a good job of identifying kids who would be a good fit for us and good players that would be a good fit for the school, and the school was a good fit for them. And like I said, I figured we'd have a couple people that wouldn't come through, but we got 11 commitments for 11 freshman commitments, and all 11 of them came. All 11 were here. All 11 are still on the team. And in addition, we've got, a couple, like I said, Deanna redshirted last year, so she's basically new. We have a couple. One girl transferred in from Oklahoma Wesleyan, and then Katie Muckleroy. Brianna Nichols is the one that transferred from Oklahoma Wesleyan, and we had recruited her the year before, and then she decided to go there and decided to come back. And then Katie Muckleroy transferred in at semester last year from a junior college that she wasn't playing, and I really wanted her not to burn a year of eligibility in the spring because it would have been hard for her to come in that late, and we're already basically halfway through the season just trying to pick stuff up and things. So yeah, there's a lot of new ones. I said Sade basically kind of counts as new too because she didn't play for me last year. So it's I guess 15 total new people to go with the 6 returners we got.
And with this, you have a set of sisters on the team this year.
We do. Well, actually, yeah, Lauren and Laney. We had 2 sets actually, and then Katrina Holt decided not to play, which I think she's got a lot of stuff going on, like she's getting married in the spring and stuff, and she's had some injury problems, so I think it was a good decision for her. But her younger sister, Hannah Holt, is one of our freshmen, and then Lauren's younger sister, Lainey, is another freshman. So we've got that set, and then Katrina's basically still going to, anything she wants to do with the team, she's welcome to come hang out with us, spend time with us. And then, of course, Katina Hayes has a twin sister, Shalina, who's our head manager as well. So we got a lot of family stuff going on with our team, which is fun.
That's fun to have around. They can cheer on each other and they know each other.
Yeah.
The one thing I've known from seeing my wife and her sisters is they usually know each other well.
Yeah, and I've put Laney and Lauren on the same team a couple times recently, and they've actually picked up pretty good chemistry together. But yeah, it's fun, and of course, they're all of them come from great families, and so anything we could do to keep the family part of our family,
Right.
we were wanting to do.
So 2 weeks away, 2 weeks from today, you play Centenary. Do you get a little nervous as that first game gets closer, or when you think about going into your second season, or you kind of went through the first season and you've seen how things are supposed to run now, and you don't get as nervous anymore?
Yeah, I don't think nervous is really the right word. I mean, I'm a little uncertain just because I think we're going to be good this year. I think we have a lot of talent. So we've got a strong group that's back with us, and I think our freshmen are good. I think they're really good, and I think it's just going to be a matter of time. And that's the big question, is kind of how long it's going to take them to get used to it. I mean, it's an adjustment. Everything's a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
The players are a little bigger, a little stronger. Everybody was the best player on their team in high school. So that's a little bit of an adjustment. And, we've had one exhibition game so far against a junior college, which they've probably got at least 3 or 4 kids who are going to get some pretty serious D1 interest. So they were really big, really fast, and really athletic, and they kind of overwhelmed us a little bit in the first quarter because all of our point guards are freshmen. And so and it wasn't just them. The returners were doing it too. We just kind of weren't ready for the speed and athleticism. But after the initial shock of the first quarter, I was really happy with how we kind of stuck with it, and we didn't get down on ourselves and get frustrated. And we pretty much played even with them after that. So we ended up losing by like 20 or something. But we turned the ball over like 36 times, which is insane. But we still scored 80 points. So I said, I think we're going to be good. It's just kind of a question of how long it's going to take for them to kind of all
Right.
get used to the adjustment and get on the same page. So I think last year there probably were a little bit more nerves because there's always that little voice in the back of your head. Do I really know what I'm doing? When you're a first-time head coach. But now that I've been through it a year, I think I feel pretty comfortable with it. It's just, my biggest challenge is because we have so many good players is kind of figure out which ones need to play the most, which ones need to play in which situations, and what groups need to play together and everything. So, I mean, I'm maybe a little bit nervous about that, about just making sure I make the right decision and, and don't not use somebody who can help us,
Right.
just because we've got so many players, and then just kind of pushing the buttons at the right time. So, but I wouldn't say I'm really nervous about it. Just kind of go in and we'll play and see what happens,
Well, what's your schedule look like this year, as you head into the season?
I think it's going to be challenging, but again, I think, it kind of depends on how quickly we adjust. I think if we're ready to go quickly, we could start off really strong. We play Centenary, who's got a new coach, so it's going to be a little bit of a uncertain thing about what they're going to do, and they've got a group of players back from last year, and they don't have very many new people, so we'll at least kind of know who their players are. But I don't know what kind of system he's going to run because he's been an assistant coach for the last couple of years. So So that'll be a little bit different. And then we go and play Austin College, who is going to be pretty good. They were the only team to beat UT Tyler in the regular season last year, so that's going to be a tough challenge for us. And then we'll go down to Southwestern and play Southwestern and TLU. We beat Southwestern in a close game last year in our first game, and then lost to TLU in overtime. So I think we'll be ready to play those games. And then our other non-conference games will be Rust, who we beat last year, Shriner, who beat us in a close game. And of course, we played TLU, so we actually played them twice. And then conference is going to be really, really strong this year again. I think, UT Tyler's got basically their whole team back from last year. I think they only graduated one player, and she didn't really play all that much. So they're going to be really good. I think Dallas had a little bit of a down year last year, but they reloaded. I mean, it's been different for me, having been at Baylor, where all the top kids, and where they're taking their 5 official visits and all who's on their list and all that kind of stuff, because it's all over the internet. And now where I really tried not to ask when I'm recruiting kids. I try not to ask them who else is recruiting them, because I don't want to put myself in a position to where I could say something bad about somebody else, because I wouldn't want somebody to do that about me,
Right.
So I really try not to ask that question. But I think, we have a few kids that I think were recruited by other teams in our conference, and there were a few kids that we recruited that have gone to other schools in our conference. But by and large, I don't know everybody that everybody's got as freshmen. I don't know all their players or how good they are or anything. But I do know some of Dallas's players, and they're pretty good. So they're going to be good. Laterno's going to be good again. So the East is going to be a beast, to be punny, but it's going to be rough. And then I think UMHB is going to be really good again. Howard Payne lost their best player, but they're still going to be good. Hardin Simmons gave us a really hard game last year. So, and of course those other teams that maybe finished in the bottom half of the league, like they're bringing in new players too.
Right.
So it's going to be a grind, for 25 games. And like I said, I think if we adjust quickly and if we'll play together, I think we've got a good group of talent. So I think we can have a really good year.
So with all that, you're gonna switch gears on you. NBA.
Yeah.
What's your favorite team, and who are some of your favorite players?
The Spurs are my favorite team. I haven't really, starting last year, I really got so focused on this job, and I don't have TV at home either. So because we don't want to pay for extra cable, because my wife's been living in Waco, and she's actually going to move up here pretty soon. We're really excited about that. So, so I don't have TV. I have a TV, but it's not hooked up to anything. So except my PlayStation 2. But I love the Spurs. I'll watch some internet shows. There's an NBA show that I like to watch. That I'll watch just to kind of keep up with it a little bit. I love the Spurs. I love the way they do things. They're really team first and greater than the sum of their parts, but their parts are great too, and I think even losing an all-time iconic player like Tim Duncan, they're still going to be great. They've already gotten off to an awesome start, and Ginobili is probably my favorite player of all time. I like to think that if I was actually talented, then I would play kind of like him. So, he's very creative, and he just does a lot of things that are kind of unexpected, which I really enjoy. And he's just a fierce competitor, and all those guys are like that.
Game 7 tonight, Cubs Indians.
I'm not really a baseball guy, to be perfectly honest. But I guess I would say Cubs. Guys, I guess the Indians just got, like, Cleveland fans just got the Cavs last year, so at least they've got a little bit of a cushion there. But I don't really have a horse in the race or anything like that.
It's just always interesting to see what another coach thinks.
Yeah, I don't really follow it, to be perfectly honest. I'm so consumed with our team and basketball, and then when I do a little bit on the side, I'll watch a little college football and stuff, and then soccer is kind of my other thing too. So when I'm watching stuff, I'll watch like Premier League games and stuff like that if I ever have some free time.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for talking to us today.
Right.
Good luck this season. We'll have you back in a couple weeks after the first game in 2 weeks and see how that first game went. So,
all right.
Thanks for talking to us today, and we'll have Coach back